Hey, and welcome back to another video from my eBay parts or repair playlist, the playlist of videos where I go on eBay, OfferUp, Mercari, and Facebook Marketplace and purchase broken electronic items and try and fix them here on camera. And what we have here today is a graphics card actually, and a very special graphics card. This is actually the AMD Radeon VII or VII, which was a flagship graphics card from 2019. I think it's known as the first ever graphics card made on a 7nm scale. It has 16 gigs of VRAM and it is comparable to the RTX 280. And I got it for the price on screen here. As you can see, it's just 56 bucks. Like I said on this channel in the past as well, I don't make up stuff here. So as you can see on the screen, I got it on OfferUp for a mere 56 bucks, but there's a catch. Of course, it's broken. And the seller was very indiscreet about the real issues on this thing. He just said it's broken, and for 56 bucks, you really can't go wrong. If I can't even fix this thing, it still looks like a good display piece to add to my graphics card collection, so why not? But if this thing does work, it's basically a RTX 2080. It actually does outperform the 2080 in some games. And in this video, we'll take it apart and then try and fix it and hopefully get it working. So this is trying to fix the cheapest Radeon 7 here in 2022. So, as usual, before jumping right in, don't forget to smash that like button down below as it helps this video get on YouTube's algorithm. And also don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below and ring that bell notification button so you're notified whenever I upload a new video. Also, if you have any comments or questions, don't forget to leave them down in the comment section below. We can start a discussion or I can answer your questions. My social media is also linked down in the description below, which includes Instagram, Discord, and Twitter. And now let's take this thing apart and try and get it working again. So for a quick spec rundown on the Radeon 7, by the way, if you don't want the specs and stuff, you can skip to the times in the segmented slide. I've segmented the slider into multiple time slots, so you can jump to the repair itself or whatever section you want to jump in. So it's a 4K gaming focus card from 2019. The retail price I think was about $700. It is comparable to the 2080 in 4K performance, has 16 gigs of internal VRAM. It apparently does not perform as well as the 2080 in 1080p gaming and 1440p gaming, so it only holds up at 4K, so but that really doesn't make any sense, but I guess the benchmarks proved it. The cooling fan's apparently quite louder. It was a bit more pricier than the 280, as I think. Its base clock is 1400 megahertz and its GPU boost clock is 1750 megahertz. The main processing unit on this thing is the Vega 20. It's got 3 display outs and 1 HDMI, 3 fans as you can see there, and it's rated at 300 watts. My 750 watt power supply should be sufficient to run this thing. So I haven't tested this thing out yet because as you can see, it's in pretty bad shape. It's basically falling apart. It has been dropped on this side actually. There's a big crack running through. It's deformed on this side, so it has definitely been dropped like that. So definitely a card that has been mined on. There's no question this thing has been in a mining rig of some sort and it's being treated like crap. But hopefully for this price we can get it running and I can use it for some games. Will it last forever? No, of course not. It's been mined on. It may not last that long even if I get it running, but I'm not sure if I can ever get it running. But as you can see, it's in a crap state. These were all bent out of shape. I was initially going to plug this in and test it out before this video, but then I was a bit scared. I thought I'll actually take it apart, clean it out, fix some stuff, and then plug it in. These were all bent and they were not in good shape. This was bent like this. It was like really badly bent. And the seller said he tried to take it apart, but the screw broke, as you can see. Sorry about the lighting. Lighting isn't the greatest today, but the screw is broken in there. If you can see there, that broke off, but the warranty stickers, as you can see, AMD warranty stickers are still there. So he tried to take it apart and he stopped. But what we'll do is take this thing apart. I'll try and find replacement screw, get the rest of that screw out. Hopefully we'll see how things go. So I'll fast forward the taking apart portion of this video and we'll go from there. Alright, so where do I even start? I don't know how badly you have to drop something for metal to just break off like that. This goes like that, or like that. And I don't know, has someone dashed this thing out of anger or something? You don't just break metal like that. Sure, it's a heavy card and maybe, but I thought it dropped on this end, not closer to the, because it's like that. But then there's more damage on this end too, so I don't know how it dropped or why it dropped like that. Some of these things were bent out of shape, as you can see there. They're not in good shape. I don't know how I'm gonna fix that. The cooler, as you can see, the heat sink is deformed. It's a lot of damage, so I don't know whether we'll be able to even get this thing up and running again. It may work for all we know. I just didn't plug it in, but we're just gonna do the usual, heat it up, clean it a bit, and then we'll see. As you can see, AMD does not use thermal paste, at least on this card. Instead it uses like thermal pad like thing. It doesn't use paste, so that's interesting. So what I'm gonna do, well, what I already did, sorry, was have a closer look at everything on the board here, and I don't see anything blown up or leaking. All the caps look fine. Every single component on the board looks really okay. I had a closer look at it for like 10 minutes straight, and it looks fine. But there may be things that I cannot see, and I don't really have the tools to be replacing components like, well, I do have a reflow station, but I don't have replacement components in case one of these things are fried, and I don't think I'll be really putting that much effort into testing each and every component, but we'll see. So let's go ahead and clean this thing out first, and then try and fix some of the bent pins and all, and we'll go from there. So in about 10 minutes I was able to get the cooler back to decent condition. There are a few bent fins here and there, but that's okay. This one seems to have gone back in its place after I hammered on it a bit. The posts, the screw posts are all straightened now, and I managed to get that bit of screw out, because I'm pretty sure after this thing was dropped or dashed, I think, that tiny piece of screw that was left after the screw head broke was left in there. So maybe he said he tried to take it apart, but I think what he did was try to take the faceplate off and then saw that the screw is already stuck in there, and since the warranty stickers were on there, means he did not go beyond the faceplate. So I managed to do this motion with these two and kind of unscrew that remaining part of the screw there. Now I gotta go find a screw with a spring-like thing attached to it. I'm pretty sure some old AMD cards I have lying around will have an identical setup there, so I can take it out of that. We'll clean this part off and we'll put thermal paste instead of a thermal pad, but as far as this goes, it's good to go. So now let's go back to the board and the frame. So this cooler piece, or the frame-like thing, whatever you want to call it, is where the most of the damage is visible. As you can see, the light here, the R logo, it's a light actually, it lights up when it's powered on. It and this also, the Radeon thing also powers on. As you can see here, it's turned white on the corners. That's when plastic is put through so much stress, it actually changes color. That is extreme stress there. It landed at this angle at a very high velocity, and the stress that caused was impacted on this has caused the plastic to turn white like that. It's deformed, and that's a solid piece of plastic. So I'm thinking that this thing wasn't dropped. Sure, it's a heavy card, but it wasn't dropped. Its own weight cannot cause that. This card was dashed. So the guys, the previous owner, whoever he was, probably got mad at something and dashed the card. I don't know how. He was probably taking it out of his mining rig. Someone pissed him off. He learned that the Bitcoin market is going down. I don't know. He probably, something probably pissed him off. There is no way a simple drop does that kind of damage to plastic. Plastic changes color when you put it under a lot of stress, and the weight alone, like I said, is not enough. So yeah, this card was most likely dashed. The cooler, we can glue this metal part on, I guess. We'll just E6000 it, and there's nothing much I can do to this end. Kind of, if I try to bend it back in shape, it might just break off entirely. So this card is not gonna look the greatest again, but you know, as long as it works, it works. So let me go ahead and try and glue this thing back together. So when I was just moving this thing around, this part came off entirely, which is sort of okay, because now I can bend it back properly and then paste the entire thing back on like that. But yeah, you can imagine the kind of force that takes to break metal. So whoever owned this card really took it out on it. But yeah, I'll go ahead and glue this thing back on after bending some of this back into shape. This side, don't want to put too much pressure because it's already badly cracked there. If I put a lot of pressure, it's just gonna break. So we'll just leave it like that. Okay, so now let us clean this thing with rubbing alcohol, and we'll go from there. I guess that's all we can do. And then of course reflow the main chip and just heat the board in general, and we'll see how that goes. But again, this is really hit or miss. It could be just a blown part which I cannot see on the surface. And yeah, so let's just go clean this thing up, both sides, and we'll go from there. Also, while tightening the screws, another screw, as you can see, also broke. Let me zoom that in here. As you can see, that screw also broke. So really shitty screws from XFX there, XFX or AMD or whatever. Yeah, XFX. Really crappy screws. Luckily, we have this thing to donate screws from. I'll put this on screen. I don't know what this card is, I forgot. I'll put it on screen. So let's take a screw out of that and let's put this thing together. Alright, so the card is somewhat back together, and as you can see, there are some screws that I didn't put back just in case we have to take it apart again. But let me go set this up with my PC and let's power it on and hopefully nothing explodes. Okay, so the thing is plugged in and the computer, I've turned on the switch on the power supply and the main switch as well. So let's go ahead and press the power button and hope nothing explodes. Oh. Get nothing. Hold up. Oh, what was that? Okay, so we have power. Let's go take a look at the display. Alright, so we have some form of video output, so that's a really good sign, and that thing looks really nice with the red and all the even the small red light over there. Let me go ahead and install some AMD drivers and we'll see what happens. But getting this screen alone is just perfect. So we know that the card is outputting signal. So as you can see, I have Halo Infinite running here and the card appears over there. AMD Radeon VII, and there you go. The VRAM usage is up to there. And there's the card. It's of course a bit loud, like mentioned in the reviews. Well, not a bit loud, it's extremely loud as when compared with my old 1070 Ti, which is now getting replaced by this thing because of course it is considerably more powerful than a 1070 Ti. And as you can see, I have put it on the Ultra preset. Where is that? There we go. So it's on the Ultra preset for Halo Infinite, and we are now in the we are in an open area, and as you can see, we're doing 60 FPS there. So earlier with the medium preset on the 1070 Ti, I could never get 60 FPS. I was like in the 40s on a medium preset. Now we are on Ultra and I'm getting 60 FPS, as you can see there. I'm doing this with two hands, so you know that I can't do everything together. I should have brought my tripod here, but as you can see, it is running at 60 FPS there perfectly. So yeah, this repair was a 100% success. This card cost a fraction of what this would usually cost, because this card usually costs about, I think, $350 to $400 on eBay right now. And during the inflation time when graphics cards were really expensive, this thing was around its retail price, even in used condition, around $600, $700 or even more. But I managed to get this thing for a mere $56 and fix it. So apart from the few issues that it has physically, like the cracks and stuff, it looks perfect. As you can see, it looks just fine. Of course, it doesn't go with the theme of my build there, and I don't think I can change the colors of the lights, but nobody's really complaining about some light colors. But yeah, this repair was a 100% success. I basically got a very expensive high-end graphics card for a fraction of what it really costs, and it could have gone both ways. That $56 was a big risk. This thing could have been completely fried and I would have not been able to repair it if the memory modules were burnt or something like that. However, I got lucky and I reflowed the solder on the main chip, and it is working, as you can see there. Of course, albeit a bit loud, but the temperatures and stuff seem good. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you honestly did, don't forget to smash that like button down below, and also don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below and ring that bell notification button so you're notified whenever I upload a new video. If you have any questions or comments, don't forget to leave them down in the comment section below. We can start a discussion, or I can answer your questions. My social media is linked down in the description below, which includes Instagram, Discord, and Twitter. Thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in my next video.